Race 1. Shadows in the South China Sea. The Philippine capital, Manila, a city of vibrant energy and bustling streets, held secrets that reached deep into the heart of international geopolitics. Agent Maria Santos, a dedicated operative of the Philippine Intelligence Agency, PIA, knew that her work was often shrouded in secrecy and danger, but nothing could have prepared her for the encrypted message she received one fateful day. The message carried a dire warning, one that sent shivers down Maria's spine. It spoke of rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea, an area that had become a hotbed of international contention. The source of the trouble was no secret. It was none other than China. On July 12, 2016, the world had witnessed a momentous event. The arbitral tribunal, adjudicating the Philippines' case against China in the South China Sea, had delivered a landmark ruling in favor of the Philippines. The tribunal's verdict resounded like a gavel, striking the foundations of international law. It unequivocally rejected major elements of China's audacious claims over the South China Sea, including the infamous 9-line, recent land reclamation activities, and intrusions into Philippine waters. It was a victory for the Philippines, a beacon of hope for countries facing China's territorial ambitions, and a reminder that international law could be a formidable tool in ensuring the peaceful, stable, and lawful use of the seas. Yet, even in the moment of victory, the ruling was a double-edged sword. It served as a catalyst for heightened tensions in the region. China's response was not one of acceptance, but of rejection and defiance. They maintained that the ruling was null and void, setting the stage for a perilous escalation of tensions in the West Philippine Sea. For Agent Maria Santos, this was not just another diplomatic dispute. It was a shadowy world of covert operations, where loyalties were tested, alliances were formed and dissolved, and the fate of a nation hung in the balance. As she readied herself to delve deeper into the unfolding crisis, she knew that her dedication to her country and the pursuit of truth would carry her through a perilous journey, where the shadows in the South China Sea concealed secrets that could reshape the future of a nation and the balance of power in the region. Race 2. Echoes of discontent. As Maria delved deeper into the unfolding crisis, the ominous echoes of discontent in the South China Sea grew louder and more disconcerting. China's reaction to the arbitral tribunal's ruling was, as expected, predictable but deeply troubling. The world had watched with bated breath as China dismissed the verdict, vehemently declaring it to be null and void. This was not a mere rejection. It was a resounding challenge to the very principles of international law and diplomacy. The ruling, which had initially appeared as a beacon of hope, had transformed into a catalyst for further discord in the region. China's actions took on a new and concerning character. They grew increasingly assertive and inflammatory, signaling an unwavering determination to defend their territorial claims at any cost. The West Philippine Sea, once a region known for its natural beauty and maritime routes, had become a perilous battleground. Tensions had escalated to a point where Philippine and international waters had become the epicenter of an ongoing geopolitical struggle. Maria knew that the area was a proverbial powder keg, and the sparks of tension threatened to engulf the entire region in chaos. The world was watching, governments were deliberating, and the situation was on the brink of erupting into a full-scale international crisis. As Maria dug deeper into the covert operations surrounding the escalating conflict, she realized that she was not merely an observer, but a crucial participant in the unfolding drama. Her dedication to uncovering the truth, her loyalty to her country, and her commitment to maintaining peace in the West Philippine Sea had never been more critical. Maria understood that the echoes of discontent in these disputed waters were far from over, and the journey to navigate through the storm of international tensions had only just begun. Chapter 3. A race against the tide. Maria's mission loomed before her like a dark and treacherous labyrinth, where every step could be her last. She was resolute in her purpose to uncover the extent of China's covert operations in the West Philippine Sea and to unveil the unsettling truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. The clock was ticking, and the urgency of the situation weighed heavily on her shoulders. She knew that time was a precious commodity, and she had to race against the tide of rising tensions in the region. As Maria delved deeper into the intricate world of espionage, she uncovered a clandestine network that operated in the shadows. Her sources were like pieces of a puzzle, each one revealing a fragment of the larger picture. Informants, double agents, and coded messages became her tools in the quest for truth. Yet, in this shadowy world, trust was a scarce commodity. Loyalties were fragile, and alliances shifted like the sands of the sea. Maria had to navigate through the intricate web of deception, where friend and foe were often indistinguishable. Her unwavering determination to protect her nation's interests and to uphold the principles of justice and international law drove her forward. Maria knew that the perils of her mission were real, but she had chosen this path, and she would see it through to the end. With each discovery, with every piece of evidence that came to light, Maria inched closer to the unsettling truth that would shape the course of events in the West Philippine Sea. The race against time had begun, and it was a race that would test her mettle, her resourcefulness, and her commitment to ensuring peace and justice in the region. Chapter 4. The unmasking the covert world of international intrigue had drawn Maria deeper into its intricate web, revealing unsettling truths about China's activities in the West Philippine Sea. As the layers of secrecy were peeled back, it became increasingly clear that China was the source of trouble in the region. Maria's relentless pursuit of the truth had led her to irrefutable evidence of China's provocations and covert operations. With each piece of evidence, Maria's conviction grew stronger. She knew that the world needed to see the reality of China's actions, and the truth had to be unveiled for the sake of justice, international law, and the protection of her nation's interests. In a dramatic and high-stakes confrontation on the high seas, Maria exposed the extent of China's deceit. It was a moment that the world had been waiting for, a culmination of painstaking efforts and unwavering dedication to the cause of peace and justice. The world watched in rapt attention as the evidence, gathered through sheer determination and commitment, laid bare the unsettling reality of China's actions in the West Philippine Sea. The consequences of this revelation were far-reaching, as governments and international organizations came to terms with the origins of trouble in these disputed waters. Maria's actions had set in motion a chain of events that would reverberate through diplomatic channels and international relations. The unmasking of China's covert activities marked a turning point in the West Philippine Sea, where the balance of power was being redefined, and the shadow of conflict could be replaced with the light of justice and peace. The silent tide was not just a spy story. It was a chilling reminder of the perils that lurked in the world of espionage and international diplomacy. China's actions in the West Philippine Sea had set the stage for a geopolitical showdown, and the world had to reckon with the unsettling truth the trouble had its origin in the shadowy depths of the South China Sea.